Is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. It's been a minute, sis. It's been a minute. I have so much stuff to tell you guys. It has been over 2 months since I have released my last video. Listen, it's really hard to get creative in a space where you're not sharing. So when we lived in the house, that's where I actually started my YouTube channel, and I shared with you guys literally like everything in the house so I could film anywhere. We're not sharing the apartment right now, as well as, you know, King is working from home right now while he has like work calls and stuff like that. I want to be respectful of everything that he has going on, so I am doing a lot more on Instagram than I am on YouTube, but all of that is about to change. So today in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about all of the things that have been going on, the changes. Yes, we are moving. Woo! We started a business. Woo! So much stuff has gone on in just like a short period of time. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a life update. If you're not following me on Instagram, you literally miss like everything. You miss the day-to-day stuff.
Different mentality. Mindset.
I do. I'm like a different person when my hair is straight.
That's what I said. I said I have a girlfriend that got straight hair.
Y'all don't even know how bad I wanted these. Dang. You all right? Okay. Like I said, there are 4 sizes, so I'm going to introduce to you guys all of the bags tomorrow on a post, as well as jump on stories again tomorrow, and I'm going to do a what's inside my bag.
Is that them?
If you're following me on Instagram, then you already know we're moving to the West Coast. We're so freaking excited, you guys. Like, it's surreal right now. It's surreal because nothing is kind of like moving right now. You have to put paperwork in and all of this other stuff. I'm making it sound like he's in the military. He's not in the military. Things that we have to do for his new job. We have, you know, submitted our paperwork. We have to go look for an apartment. He starts his new job remotely on Monday, and then we will eventually make our way down there.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound.
And move sometime in March. So we are specifically moving to Oregon. We announced it on Instagram last week. So I told you guys that I would make a video and talk to you guys about everything that is going on. I was also going to allow you to ask questions. So you guys submitted some really good questions. The first question is, are you excited to be closer to your brother and your sister-in-law? My sister-in-law is actually the one who asked me this question. If you didn't know, my husband and his brother are very close.
If I miss some balls, he fusses at me. If he miss balls, I fuss at him.
Leeper. If you don't know who that is, you probably, I mean, he's been in the news a lot here lately. So I feel like if you don't know who that is, you probably just don't have a TV.
But never dreamed that inspiration would come from a superstar Paralympic athlete.
And Leeper will go all the way to win.
Champion Blake Leeper is a world record holder in track and field, but now one of his most important roles, helping motivate and support KJ.
There you go. Come on.
Both were at an Oklahoma City lab last month being fitted for prosthetics when Blake saw KJ taking his first steps with a brand new leg.
Go, 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 go.
That chance meeting caught on camera.
Uh-oh. I got my legs on now. I'm ready for you.
The video going viral.
You're doing great. You're doing awesome.
Blake, who was born without legs below the knee,
Can you do that? Whoa!
says compassion plays a vital role in their unique friendship.
I just wanted to be there for him to show him, like, look, you're not alone.
Mine looks like yours.
Yes, he might have one disability in his leg, but he has 1,000 other abilities that makes him a special person. And let's focus on those 1,000 abilities that you have. To be part of a moment like that, where it's all about just love and kindness and encouraging one another, just really just changed and shaped my life for the good for forever.
By step. Come on. By step.
But I'm gonna actually leave his information in the description box. You guys have to follow him. He is such an inspiration. If you did not know, he does track and field and he lives in California. He trains. He's a double amputee. He's absolutely amazing. He's so inspiring and just like the whole 9 yards. He's an amazing person. And then my cousin, who is actually like my actual cousin with my like actual real last name, she is engaged to my husband's brother. They have a beautiful, beautiful baby. My niece, her name is Thea. She's amazing. They live in California, and yes, girl, yes, sis, I am so excited to be moving closer to you guys. They will still be about 16 hours away, but we can always meet in the middle, okay? The next question, can I come live with you? That was one of my best friends, Ty. Girl, yes, you can come live with me. Come on. We want you to go. Next question, is there a particular reason why y'all chose to move to Oregon, or will you be doing a home tour? I chose Oregon because that is the place of my husband's dream company. He has wanted to work at this company for like over 10 years. If you know anything about Oregon, you already know what the company is, so I don't even have to put that out there. I'm so proud of him. I'm so excited for him. This has been in the works for a really long time, so it's amazing for this to come to pass and for us to be able to even have this opportunity. It's God all the way around. It's God. We'll be doing a home tour. I assume that you are asking about this home, this apartment, because we actually don't have a place in Oregon picked out yet. We are currently looking for one. But yes, I will be doing a empty apartment tour whenever we first moved in. I wasn't sure if I was going to share the apartment for security reasons. I wasn't sure how long we would be here. We did know that we were going to be here temporarily, which we'll get into that a little bit later. Once we actually get in Oregon and get settled in, and we're no longer here, then I will share this apartment with you guys. So we live in Virginia Beach right now, and I've actually had quite a few people ask where we currently live, like what apartment complex we currently live in.
I would like to see it.
I've never given that out for security reasons, and that is the whole reason why we did not share this apartment the way that we have. Although if you guys send me a message in March or April, if you remember to DM me on Instagram, I will tell you the name of the apartment complex that we are currently living in. But I don't know that you guys want to live here. It may just be me because it's an apartment and we're used to being in a house, but there's just some things that have happened in this apartment. Not negative, not horrible. It's just like thin walls and, you know, a couple of 2-3 other things. But I think that you guys are just after the view, because the view is absolutely amazing. It literally overshadows everything else, especially knowing that we're going to be here temporarily. So like I said, if you message me in March or April, if you remember, then yes, I will give it to you, but we will not be leaving for a little while, possibly the beginning of March. So I'm not going to give it to you yet. The next question is, what was your inspo to move to your next destination? My husband's career. So right now it's easy for us to focus in on the things that matter to us most. So where we are right now in life, I feel like God has us on a certain path, and that does not include children at this moment. I do believe we will have children one day, whenever he says it's time for us to. So our main inspiration right now is to go wherever God is leading us. He has never steered us wrong, and we don't believe that he ever will. So our main focus right now is to do whatever it is that he has planned for us. And right now we can focus on building something lasting for our children. But this one is, moving is a big step. Do you think that this place is called a forever home? I hesitate because that is a deep question. So with this company, he literally could work anywhere in the United States, or we could actually live abroad if we wanted to. So do I feel like this is going to be our forever home? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So the next question is a relationship question. I really love this question. How do you manage to keep that love spark in your relationship? I really, really love answering questions like this, because I feel like sometimes when you ask people these questions, you don't necessarily get like a direct answer. They're just like,
Wait a minute.
oh, just go pray about it and whatever else. And I think people answer that question like that because they don't necessarily know what actions to tell you to put behind it. Of course, the actions that I tell you may not necessarily work for you if our love languages are not the same, or if our mannerisms are not the same. Stuff that I tell you that I do for King may not be received in the same way that your spouse will receive them.
Obviously.
Yes, you should definitely pray. I would be very specific about my prayer. For us, usually what happens is you just kind of get in that routine. You get in that routine of, you know, what do you want for dinner? Let's watch a movie. Let's do this. And then you go to sleep, and then the next day you wake up and you do the whole thing all over again. And then sometimes, or if you get into a like heated discussion, we don't really argue anymore, but if you get into like a heated discussion, sometimes you kind of get that disconnection. And that always sucks so bad because it kind of turns into a roommate situation. You just feel like he's your roommate. I wouldn't necessarily say that we've ever lost our spark. I will say it's kind of like a boiling pot of water. So it's always like that rolling boil going, but we don't necessarily like, you know, die down. It's more like it turns into like a simmer. It's always still hot, but it turns into like that rolling boil into just like a little coasting simmer. And how do I turn the heat back up in that relationship? I'll give you two different scenarios. So the first one, if we've just gotten to a routine because we just have so much stuff going on that week, you know, sometimes I'll joke around with King and I'll go up to him and I'll hug him and I'll be like, I just feel like we're roommates.
They were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
Like sometimes he'll feel the same way, sometimes he won't feel the same way. I feel like that's really important. You both have to be on the same page. So figure out a way to tell him that you feel like y'all are roommates at this point, and you kind of need a little spice, a little spark. Sometimes I will, if you're a child watching this, I need you to exit out because I'm about to get real. Sometimes I will switch things up. I will, you know, put on some lingerie that I have when he's on lunch, you know, just grab him and do the little spontaneous thing. And I really think that in a marriage, when things start to recur over and over and over again and you get in that routine, I feel like you just need to be spontaneous and you just need to kind of go with the flow. And it kind of brings you guys back together, especially if it has been a while since you've done something outside of the normal routine. Something else that I do is I will ask him if he wants to watch a movie. And we like turn our phones off. Can't necessarily turn them completely off, but we will turn them on silent, roll up on the couch, and we will make it a point to only focus on each other. Sometimes we'll just like, we will just dive into like a super deep conversation. I feel like those are lost treasures. Sometimes people just don't talk anymore. You just get to the point where you talk about bills and you talk about this. Don't necessarily sit down and actually have a conversation with your spouse. Especially have kids, your priorities are completely shifted. So you are more concerned about making sure that that child's okay than rather your relationship, and your relationship takes a hit sometimes. You need to sit down and actually connect to where you about your dreams and your aspirations. You know, another tip that I also do is we take showers together first thing in the morning. It doesn't have to be sexual. It's just the intimacy of being with that person, and that's all you focus in on. You can't take your phone in the shower. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You're not focused in on anything else. You're focused in on that person. If you have children, do it before your kids get up. Make it a point to actually wake up early in the morning, early enough to where you can go and do it while your kids are asleep. If you put your kids down at night, I know you're tired and all of this other stuff, but if you want that spark, you will make the time.
Well, I'm out, man. It's tripping.
You make the time for what is most important to you. And if you don't have, you know, a lot of room in the shower, it's uncomfortable, you guys don't like doing that, you can just shower one at a time and be in the bathroom with each other, where you can talk and have a conversation. Like I said, it doesn't have to be sexual, but it's intimacy. If you were talking about how you got into an argument, my pastor says this all the time, I'll use me so you don't get offended. So I'll give you a example. A couple of weeks ago, we got into a bit of a heated discussion. I won't say it was an argument because like I said, we don't really argue, but we got into a bit of a heated discussion, and then I just blurted something out, and it took him back. Wait
a minute. Who are you?
And he did not receive it in the way that I actually meant it. I didn't mean any malice behind it, but we're in the middle of a heated discussion. Anything that you say is usually not said in love when you are passionate about it. I actually shouldn't have said it in a passionate discussion. I should have said it in a different way. But he shut down because he knew that his response wasn't going to be the correct response in that moment. Somebody got to be the adult in the conversation when it's a heated discussion.
One of us has to be the mature one. And it ain't gonna be me, Aunt Jemima.
He chose to be that this time. So he kind of shut down. He didn't say too much. And then later on, kind of like felt disconnected for a few days. We discussed it. We're both calm at this point. This is how it made me feel when you said these words to me. And I did not mean them in the way that he took it. I am the biggest advocate for communication. Although communication does not work unless you have comprehension. If you cannot comprehend that person, the communication is just crap. I can talk to you all day about how I feel about a situation. You actually don't understand me. I'm basically speaking Chinese to someone who speaks Italian. You're not going to be able to understand where I'm coming from. So communication is like the lock, and comprehension is like the key to open that lock. In his exact words, he told me that he felt disrespected in that moment. I love this man so much, and I have so much respect for him. The last thing that I want to do is say something that comes across disrespectful. I knew that it was something that I had done, because King is not one of those people that, you know, if you don't warm his food up correctly, you feel disrespected. He literally feels it because there is a reason why he felt it, and I knew what I had said was taken in the wrong way. And I knew that it was my responsibility to fix it. I feel like in those moments you have to be honest with yourself and you have to look within. I think it's very important for people to understand that submission is not being weak. It's not that you are the lower one in the relationship. It's not that you have to bow down to him or any of that stuff. Submission actually takes a stronger woman to submit than to not submit. Not submitting is the easy part. Submitting to your spouse is the hardest thing ever. He is not the leader of this relationship and the leader of this household because he makes more money than I do. Not the leader of this relationship because he wears the pants. I wear pants too. He is the leader in this relationship because he consults with God. He consults with God first, and then he comes to me and we make decisions together. Not submitting is for the weak. Submitting is for the strong. Now, I would not recommend this if he's not connected to the Most High because you don't know what you're submitting to. But like I said, it's a little bit easier to submit to someone who is submitting to God already because they're not going to steer the relationship in a wrong direction. And if that happens, listen, a long relationship is not necessarily a great relationship. Don't confuse longevity with greatness because that's not how that works.
Stop it. Get some help.
If he's giving you something to respect, then the submission will come a lot easier. The next question is another relationship question. Do you think looks has to do with physical attraction? If so, do you think it's important in a, and then it stops, so I guess relationship? I guess it depends. If you are not, in my opinion, if you are not in close proximity with somebody, you're not going to be able to see if their personality and their mind is attractive to you. Somebody like you work with or you go to school with, you go to church with, and you get to learn their personality and you get to hear their heart whenever they speak. You know, you may not even see the physical attraction, just a small part of it. We change as the years go on. Right in the middle of editing this video, and the girl actually asked a question about physical attraction and if it was important. So what was it that you were just saying?
Physical attraction is important, but it's definitely like evolved over where we first started dating to when we first got married to now. Like it's completely different. Like we were just talking about how you feel like you look different, you know, now compared to back then. Yeah. And like in 2008, I was like way skinnier than I am now. Right. And it's like, right now, today, 2021, like you look the best you've ever looked to me in my eyes than you looked in our entire relationship. And why do you feel that? You evolved yourself into being who you were supposed to be. And I'm in love with that person. Like I'm not in love with the 115-pound T or the T that was a softball player or whatever else. Like I'm in love with the person that you are. I found you more attractive than I've ever found you in our marriage. not only because you're you, but you evolved into who you're supposed to be. You were never meant to be that person throughout the whole course of your life.
Right. 2008 Tiara wasn't supposed to be your 2021 Tiara.
Right. And a lot of that stuff you shed. Like at some point it was like the main thing to be in shape to attract other people. But what is attracting those other people was temporary things. Stuff that's the staying power is the stuff that we've worked on these last 10 years and that you continue to work on and continue to develop because, you know, in our situation, you weren't taught those things. We grew those things together. That's the attractive part of it, is that we were able to love each other in the season that we're in, and we're not trying to play or make up something or be fake about it. Like it's 100% authentic to what we have planned for, what we prayed for, what's on our vision board.
Nobody looks their best when they're sick. So let's say that you're sick. I'm still physically attracted to you because it's not your looks that makes me physically attracted to you.
Like being physically attracted for this long is just an added bonus and a benefit on the tail end. That's not what's going to keep you to do those things that you're supposed to do.
I feel like sometimes when all of the glamour is stripped away, that person's not pleasing to the eye, but you're getting some of their mind and their heart, that's when they can become the most physically attractive to you. Next question is, have you ever been to Oregon before this decision to move? No, we have actually never been to Oregon. We've been to the West Coast to go to California, but we have not actually been to Oregon, but we're really, really excited. We hear that it is amazing and that it is beautiful, so we're really excited. Next question is, why are you moving? Do you have family and friends who live there? So we have some family who lives on the West Coast. I have a cousin and his family lives there, and then of course, like I said, my brother and his fiance and their new baby live there. It's still like 16 hours away, but we can always meet in the middle, do like, you know, little vacations, and it's just a plane ride. The end of these questions. So the next one is, for work, you know anyone there, renting, permanent move, or short term for now? For work, yes. Do we know anyone there? No. Renting, as of right now, yes. We will not be buying. When we moved from Tennessee to Virginia, it was the easiest option for us. We were actually born and raised in Tennessee, and then I used to come here with my granddaddy whenever I was little to visit family, and then also whenever King and I started dating, he started bringing me here, and we loved it so much, so we would come here all the time, literally weekend trips. I know that sounds insane. It's an 8-hour drive. Just love the area, so we ended up moving. So whenever we moved, we already knew the area. We knew where we wanted to live. It made sense for us to go ahead and invest in a house, in a property, so we did. Thankfully we did, because that was a great investment. And like I said, we already knew the area. With us moving across the country, we've never been to Oregon before. We want to rent for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, get familiar with Oregon before we choose a place to actually purchase a home. So we may eventually buy, depending on where this job takes us, but as of right now, we are going to be renting. Permanent move or short term, I will say that at this moment in time, it is going to be permanent, because like I said, we never know where it's going to take us. How long have you guys known I wanted to see you? I know, girl, I wanted to see you too. Unfortunately, with everything going on in the world right now, that wouldn't be possible. I actually don't even think we're going to get a chance to see our families before we go, which sucks, but thank God for FaceTime and all of that stuff. But how long have we known? I'll have to do a completely separate video on this and tell you guys like how we literally manifest all these things, but we have known that we were going to move for about 2.5 years now. Yeah, I guess about 2.5 years at this point. Almost 3. We knew that for that company we would have to move, but we didn't know where we would have to move. We just knew that we were going to be moving. So 2.5 years with that. For this particular job, I guess maybe October, November is when he put his application in and started to schedule his interviews sometime like around Christmas, before Christmas. And then I think this timeline is right. I'm gonna say like 3 weeks, like 3, maybe 4 weeks. What are some ways you and your partner build trust, especially in a world full of temptation at your disposal with technology and social media, or in other ways? To be completely honest with you, I feel like you have to build trust with each other before you can like throw in technology and all of that other stuff. Are you more involved in the things that are tempting you, or the thing that is going to sustain you. You got to start at the core. Because King and I don't look at the world full of temptation. There's just so many things that you do to build that trust is what I'm trying to say. So I actually had trust issues in the beginning, from past relationships, from people in my family. I've just had really bad trust issues with trusting people. So I told King in the beginning, whenever we first started dating, this can go one of two ways. You can either tell me the truth and I can be angry at you for a short period of time, but we'll be able to get over it, or you can lie to me and this relationship will be over.
Why you always lying?
Because I'm not playing those games. He really wanted to be in a relationship with me, so he's always told me the truth. We've learned over the years that there's always a way to tell each other whatever it is that you need to tell them with love and in love, and I have learned to be respectful to where he's able to talk to me about literally anything. If I want him to be honest with me and be truthful with me, I had to open myself up to allow him to be able to talk to me, as in not getting angry or pushing him away or anything like that whenever he tries to speak to me about something. I have to take it serious and I have to listen to him. And because I had trust issues in the past, it was easy for me to listen to him and to not get so angry, not be so quick to get angered. We have always just shared everything. We've always shared everything. Our passcodes on our phone are the same. The only reason we have passcodes is in case we like lose our phone or something. But our passcodes are the exact same. We have the same PIN code on like everything that we own. We have the same passwords. If we switch passwords and stuff up, if I need to get in his email account, damn! He's already logged in to the email. We have the same Facebook passwords, the same Instagram passwords. He can log into my account from his phone because I log into his phone sometimes if I don't have my phone on me. If we take a walk, he holds my phone because I hate having my phone with me when we go on a walk. Just are so completely open and honest with each other. If he ever felt like he couldn't trust me using Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, they'd be gone in a second. They mean nothing to me compared to my relationship with him. So I feel like trust is built over time. But I feel like if you're in a relationship and you can't trust that person at all, I think that it can be built. Any relationship worth having is a foundational built relationship, and that foundation is God. I had to personally fix my trust issues so that I could allow him to get in, because if somebody does me dirty, I am so quick to cut them off. I'm actually working on that. I'm working on that.
God gonna get somebody. Is somebody lying?
I'm very, very quick to forgive, but I'm also very, very quick to just cut you off. I will forgive you and cut you off so quick that it's like you could send me a message the next day and we could still be friends, but I'm not going to allow you to get that close to me again. Do I have trust issues with him? No. I'm going to be honest with you. And I was basically my husband's first girlfriend. And in some cases that doesn't mean anything, but in his case it does. He's one of those people I'm like, she was hitting on you, and he's like, was she? He will not even notice. He literally will walk right by you. He's the nicest rude person I've ever met. So if somebody flirted with him, which I've actually seen somebody flirt with him, he literally does not even catch it. That's just who he is. So yeah, it's a little bit easier. I would say in my case, it's a little bit easier for me to trust him. But like I said, that trust has to be built over time. It's not something that you'll just gain overnight, especially if you have trust issues. Anyway, one more question. I forgot this one. Do you have any tips for starting a blog, and do you think people need to have a coach to start? I'd say just do it. A lot of times we allow fears to hold us back, and so we won't actually do the things that we want to do. And once you start it, that fear goes away. You take power over your own life at that point.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
And do I think that you need a coach? No, not necessarily. I actually have a few friends who do coaching, and they do one-on-one coaching. I don't necessarily think you need a coach. The reason I say that is because there's so much free information out there. You can find it on Google, you can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Instagram. There's so many people sharing. Instagram is actually sharing tips on how to gain traction to your page and stuff now. There are bloggers who are on Instagram sharing, constantly sharing, and that's all they do is share information. free information. If you were asking for help from somebody and nobody's helping you, Google it. That's what I did in the beginning when nobody would help me and I wanted to gain more information. I Googled it. If you want to get that one-on-one personal help from a coach, I think that it's a good investment if you plan on doing this long term and getting a website and, you know, making this like your career. I would personally suggest that you use what you have, use your phone, use some books and start with that just to prop your phone up. Use what you have and use free applications before you actually start purchasing things, because my thing was I want to use the things that I have to see if I'm actually going to like this for a long period of time, and then I will actually invest in myself to upgrade my equipment once I know that this is going to be a longer term situation. But if you're to that point where you've exhausted all of the free tools and you want somebody to help you like strategically lay out things that you can do and hold you accountable, then I would say yes, a coach is a great way to go. Especially if you plan on making this like your career. So that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it.
Hey.
Oh Lord.
Sheesh. Chill. Sit. Stay.
Lord, she loves her some daddy.
Stay.
Same sis. Same. How was your last day?
It was eye-opening. It was
Lexi. So that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I ain't got no job. You still let me be here?
Yeah, you can stay.
Right,
Come say hi.
I can stay?
Yeah, you can stay. So I just answered all of the questions and talked about how we're moving and all of that stuff.
Sure, I might start me a little channel since I'm unemployed for the next 36 to 48 hours. I'll have a lot of free time on my hands.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Okay.
I also you guys, I forgot to tell you that in the past 2 months that we haven't been here, this is why you need to follow me on Instagram if you're not already following me. In the last 2 months we actually started our own business. We actually had to close it down because we're moving and I didn't get a chance to do a YouTube video, but we started our own business.
Yep, we did. The Zara
bag accessories and pouches, where creativity meets bougie organization, because I'm bougie. Your girl loves some organization. And then he actually picked up sewing in the middle of all of this stuff going on. He purchased a industrial sewing machine and he started sewing, and he is so good at it. He made a couple of bags for his golf bag, and I was just like, I could literally use this to organize my purse. So all of these little pouches and stuff, we made a whole bunch of like different ones, and then we moved into making like totes and little handbags. I'm also gonna have the Instagram and the website description box below. Everything is currently sold out because we are moving, but whenever it opens back up, I'll do an entire video and show you guys all the new things that we're gonna start offering. But until then, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, and like I said, you can go view the website and see some of the stuff that we had up for sale. So
yeah, looking forward to getting to Oregon. Did you say Oregon? Did you say we're moving to Oregon? Yep, looking forward to getting Oregon and getting set back up and getting going.
Super exciting. So follow us on Instagram. Also, we'll have King's handle in the description box below so that you can follow him also. And that's about it.
See you guys.
Bye guys.